They call it America's favorite food. But what if I told you, inside that juicy, perfectly grilled hot dog, there's a mix of mystery meat, industrial chemicals, and ingredients that your body was never meant to digest? This isn't dinner. It's science. Every year, Americans eat 20 billion hot dogs, enough to circle the earth more than 40 times. They're at barbecues, ball games, school lunches, gas stations, a symbol of summer and comfort. But peel back the glossy label of that classic wiener, and here's what you'll find written in tiny print. Mechanically separated chicken, mechanically separated turkey, pork, water, corn syrup, salt, sodium phosphate, potassium chloride, sodium diacetate, sodium benzoate, sodium ascorbate, flavor, sodium nitrite. That's not a recipe. That's a chemical formula. Let's decode it, one ingredient at a time. And what happens if you eat it every day, like millions unknowingly do? Mechanically separated meat. Let's start with the phrase that sounds like it belongs in a factory, not a kitchen. Mechanically separated chicken and turkey. When meat is stripped from the bone by machine under high pressure, it becomes a paste. Think of it like pink mush. That paste is what forms the base of many hot dogs. This isn't hand-cut or premium meat. It's the leftover scraps, the parts most people wouldn't even recognize as chicken or turkey. In fact, the USDA once described it as a slurry of muscle tissue, bone particles, and marrow. When consumed occasionally, it's not catastrophic, but regularly, you're eating oxidized fats, bone residue, and trace metals that can lead to inflammation of the gut, high cholesterol, and over time, increased risk of colon cancer. The body doesn't digest this kind of meat the same way. It's processed, emulsified, and stripped of nutrients, meaning you get the calories, but none of the natural protein benefits. Sodium nitrite, the silent killer. Now, here's the real villain, sodium nitrite. This chemical gives hot dogs their pink color and prevents bacteria from growing. Sounds good, right? Until you realize what happens inside your body. When sodium nitrite mixes with stomach acid and amino acids from meat, it creates nitrosamines, highly carcinogenic compounds linked to stomach and colon cancer. The World Health Organization officially classifies processed meats like hot dogs as Group 1 carcinogens, the same category as tobacco and asbestos. Studies show that just one hot dog a day can increase your risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. So every time you eat one, your body isn't just digesting food, it's fighting off chemical reactions that mutate cells. Sodium phosphate and potassium chloride. Ingredients that make your hot dog juicy, springy, and last longer on the shelf. But your kidneys? They pay the price. Sodium phosphate is a phosphate additive used to keep meats moist. But too much phosphorus in your blood forces your kidneys to work overtime, leading to kidney strain, calcium imbalance, and weakened bones. Potassium chloride, meanwhile, is often used as a salt substitute, but it's also used in lethal injections in high doses. Of course, there's less in your hot dog, but when consumed daily through multiple processed foods, it can affect heart rhythm and blood pressure. In short, your hot dog is being engineered not for nutrition, but for longevity on a shelf. Corn syrup, the hidden sugar. And then there's corn syrup, because yes, even your hot dog has sugar. It adds that subtle sweetness and shiny finish that makes it more palatable. But what's the cost? Regular consumption of corn syrup, especially high fructose corn syrup, leads to insulin resistance, fatty liver, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. The human body wasn't designed to handle industrial sugar hidden in savory foods. It keeps you hooked, triggering dopamine, the same brain pathways used by addictive drugs. So when you crave that hot dog, It's not just hunger. It's chemical conditioning. The preservatives they don't want you to think about. Let's talk about the chemicals hiding in your hot dog, the ones that make it last for months, not days. One of them is sodium benzoate. It keeps mold and bacteria from growing, which sounds good until you learn what it does inside your body. When it mixes with vitamin C, it can turn into benzene, a chemical linked to cancer. So if you eat a hot dog and drink a soda or juice, that combo might be quietly creating something toxic inside you. Then there's sodium diacetate, another preservative that gives that tangy, meaty taste, but it's acidic and can irritate your stomach if you eat it often. Over time, it can cause heartburn, acid reflux, or even gut inflammation, where your stomach lining gets weak and bacteria slip into your blood. And let's not forget sodium itself. Every hot dog has around 500 to 700 milligrams of it. That's almost a third of your daily limit, from just one. Too much sodium makes your body hold on to water and puts pressure on your heart and blood vessels. Eat that kind of food regularly, and it raises your risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. What happens if you eat this often? Now let's talk about what really happens when you eat processed meats like this often. All those preservatives and additives don't just leave your body right away. They build up slowly in your organs, your blood, your tissues. Your liver has to clean them out, but it gets tired. Your kidneys try to flush out the salt, but over time, that constant strain makes them weaker. Your heart works harder because your blood becomes thicker with sodium and fat, and your body becomes inflamed. That means it's constantly fighting something. It's like a small fire burning inside you that never goes out. That's how people slowly develop heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer, not overnight, but one bite at a time. The truth is, these foods are engineered to be addictive. The salt, sugar, and flavorings are balanced perfectly to make your brain crave more. You're not just eating, you're being conditioned. You think you're choosing what to eat, but the food industry has already made that choice for you. Why companies keep doing this? So why do companies keep using all these unhealthy ingredients? Because it's cheap and profitable. Using real meat, real flavor, and real freshness costs more. So they use fillers, preservatives, and chemicals that trick your taste buds and last longer on shelves. They know you'll keep buying it because the salt and sugar keep your brain hooked. That's not an accident. That's designed addiction. The marketing shows smiling families, summer barbecues, and happy kids, but they never show the label or the chemicals hidden inside that label. They sell comfort and nostalgia while feeding you something your body was never built to handle. They don't need to hide the truth. It's printed right there on the back of the pack. Most people just don't read it. The choice is still yours. Every time you unwrap a hot dog, think about what you're really eating. Not just meat, but chemicals, preservatives, and years of clever marketing. They turned food into a science experiment. They took something simple and made it dangerous. But you still have the power to change that. You can read the label. You can choose real food, the kind that your body actually understands. Because real food doesn't need a paragraph of ingredients or chemicals you can't pronounce. It doesn't need to last for months. It just needs to be real. The truth is simple. They're feeding us what's easy to sell. It's up to us to stop buying the lie.